Good afternoon, everyone. So, have this wonderful co-panelists today. Such an amazing event. I'm so honored and happy to be here. I've been huge fan of all Stellar events for quite a while, but today I managed to be a panelist in my hometown, my beloved Rio, and with this amazing panel. So it's very honoring for me. So with no further delay, I would love to hear a brief intro for each of you guys, and maybe you can already connect to how blockchain and digital assets enter into your path, encounter your amazing journey, and a bit of your current projects related to this area. Then we can level the playing field for everyone. And remember, in this amazing audience, they are most developers and not policymakers, so we'll try to keep it practical for you guys, but please kindly interrupt if you're not following the conversation on the regulatory or policy side. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Fabio. I work at the Central Bank of Brazil, and I'm in charge of the CBDC project. And it's a little different from other country CBDC projects because our focus here is on tokenization, on bringing real assets and connecting Web3 and crypto with the traditional financial sector. And what we envision for the long run is having a ecosystem where the central bank money fulfills the role of delivering stability for the system, and private money can provide settlement tools for retail services, and also a road for innovation, for bringing up new services for the population. And that's, I think that Drax is all about, is bringing new services, better services for the population, is a step into deepening the financial inclusion that we managed to achieve with PIX. PIX goes straight to payment. That's the entrance for the financial services. And 71 million people made their first use of digital payments ever in their lives using PIX. And now that these people are engaged in the financial ecosystem, we need to find ways to make services of lower tickets more available and easier to access for the population. And then running Drax, we have been dealing with some technical hurdles yet, but we are working together with the Brazilian market, and the Brazilian market is quite excited about real-world assets tokenization. And I think that we are going to be able to progress a lot in the coming months.
Thank you, Fabio. I'm going to resist my willingness to come back with further questions. So I have Carol to introduce herself and Vanessa. But I forgot to say that it's a privilege to have an authority like the Brazilian Central Bank in your person, Fabio. I'm a huge fan, as you know. So congratulations for all your work. And Marcelo, I forgot to thank you for this amazing organization. You made my moderator work so easily. I wish all of my hosts were like this. Thank you. Carol, please.
Only for introduction, or you want to comment?
Yeah, like you can start talking about our topic here today, which is the huge dilemma on responsible innovation, how we can balance, how the expectations, since you are representing an association today that kinds of do this intersection between the public and the private sector. So I would love to hear your perspectives on how the private sector, can on one hand contribute to this whole process of bringing good, responsible regulation for us, and on the other hand, the main challenges for this, what they do expect from the public sector to continue build their stuff.
Okay. Nice. So first of all, good afternoon, everyone. For those of you that are not from here, please feel my warming welcome here in the country. Thank you, Marcelo, Nick, everybody, Stellar. And so my name is Carol Conway. I'm currently the chairwoman of Brazilian Association of Internet. I'm also technical director of Brazilian Association of Competitive Banks. So interact a lot with CBDC and Fabio on this project. And my executive career nowadays, I'm the director of WOW and PagSeguro PagBank Group. That is the major, the largest media plus fintech group of the country, and the first one to make an IPO in New York. So the first unicorn after Brazilian Central Bank regulation of e-money. Thanks, Fabio, again. And above all, I'm a podcaster and gender activist. So thank you again to have a panel with a lot of women here. And Fabio, thank you for supporting us, and also Stellar. But to go further for our topic, like from private sector, I mean, Fabio, let's start with Brazil is a continental dimensions country. Say it. You're
I say yes, yes.
okay. Brazil is a continental dimension country, so we have 2 million people. We have 30 million people below the poverty line, and we have almost 9 million people that are out of school, even adults that don't know how to write. And back in 2013, we have, as Fabio just mentioned, around 70 million people, so more than almost a half of the country, who doesn't have a bank account or a digital account or any means to make payments instead of cash. So uh, regarding the convergence of public innovation and private sector, I think that the PIX innovation and the e-money regulation in Brazil was a very, very good example how the public can innovate and the private can implement it. So this is the main example. We have a lot of examples and on innovative innovation, and but the key message that I want to deliver for this first part of the introduction is we have to cooperate. There's no public without private, because private have to implement and have to use, and there's no private without public. Can we imagine a country where you have digital presence, private digital presence, without public presence in the digital? So it's quite an impossible. So the main message that I want to deliver here is about cooperation, implementation, and one helping each other to grow the pie.
Perfect, 100%. Vanessa.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're enjoying Rio. I'm Vanessa. I work for Brazilian Development Bank. I'm a digital manager there. And before talking about how we connect with blockchain, I need to explain what is Brazilian Development Bank. We are the major source of long-term finance for Brazil. We finance things from physical infrastructure like roads and ports to SMEs and innovation. Last year, our disbursements were around $25 billion. So you can have an idea with the size of the bank. And how we connect with the blockchain ecosystem. Around 7 years ago, we started to experiment the technology, and we didn't. Our approach to use the technology was not the traditional one from the banks, thinking about cutting costs or enhance our profit. Our approach was about transparency, because we are a bank, but we are a public bank. So for us, transparency is very important. And when we saw the technology, we saw that the technology could bring transparency to the bank, and not only to BNDES, but to Brazilian government as well. So we started pilot a token, a transparent token for public disbursements. And we made some proof of concepts and pilots in different areas of the bank. But after that, we reached the problem of infrastructure. We started making these proof of concepts in public blockchains that were not so advanced in that time as they are now. And the regulation so was not so evolved at that time as is now. So we started to invest in creating an infrastructure based on blockchain for government that should involve different levels of the government and different powers. So now this infrastructure is live, and we have the federal government, the state government, the executive, legislative in the infrastructure, and in the same governance too. So the main purpose of this infrastructure that we call Brazilian blockchain network is to host use cases focused on public interest. Not only use cases for government, but use cases focused on public interest that needs transparency as a main value.
Wow, that's very interesting. I love to learn because, well, I learned in our alignment because, I think initiatives like that, because we always hear like inclusion, which is, of course, very important, payment, efficiency, and, traceability, which is, of course, the big, things that we are trying to solve. But democracy, access to information, interactions between different branches, I think that's very, very important too. So coming back to Fabio, you mentioned already the Pix was, of course, a huge success on payments and financial inclusion. It wasn't that much of a success as I see for credit, for example, for, having the population having access to credit. It's still on the way. But more than it, and that's one question, if you think new technologies like AI can help solving this problem. And another question is related to blockchain. You mentioned, of course, Pix was success to payment. So what was the reason behind using blockchain at the first place? I will have to actually do everything for you because we are going out of, it's 20 minutes for this panel. I'm sorry, Stellar. Next time we need to work more time or have like not that good person because it's impossible. But then you choose blockchain, you choose to try a pilot and experiment on blockchain, but later on we heard very recently that we kind of chose a different path. So can you?
Right. Let me try to be quick.
Sorry about that. Maybe pick your favorite topics and just.
I just want to say that the Drax initiative is a broader initiative than just the pilot. And in the pilot, we have this demand from the board to deliver a product in the short term. And given the condition of the central bank, our IT team thought that we can't do that with blockchain right now because of matters of privacy, scalability. Then that's why we for the third phase of the pilot, we are moving out of the blockchain technology, but that doesn't mean that the Drax initiative is abandoning the technology. We are engaging in lab for real world assets tokenization. We are engaged in a lab with IADB for central bank Web3 project in Latin America with other 10 central banks. Then we are working a lot still with the LT, and the major point is that we want to sort out is how to make an efficient way of tokenization, and it's impossible to dissociate the LT and tokenization as of today.
Settle, otherwise you won't have the market develop. No, that's very interesting. And also, it's good for us to know that the project is not abandoned. There's still maybe some detours, but they will be on track. Would you think like it was more on the tech side, on the compliance side that made you guys choose this?
Well, I think that it's both because the technological hurdles for protecting privacy in blockchain are complicated. We are using ZKP, and that's a very new technology. And when you match those things together, you generate a lot of risk for the system, and that would be the worst thing for us to do, to issue a system for the population that's not safe enough.
Of course. That was the initial concern of everyone. No, that's helpful. Thank you, Fabio. And Vanessa, on your perspective on building this tokenization project, which is like huge, and also I'm sure there's compliance implications. Can you share a bit of the first lessons learned and with how you guys face compliance requirements?
Um, I, what I can share is that usually technology runs faster than the norms and legal. And we had some difficulties on the proof of concepts in pilots of the token. A funny story, it was a moment when we were creating an app, and then we discovered of the transparent token, and then we discovered that the norm said that the money had to be deposited on a specific bank. And the cycle to change the norm is much longer than the cycle to change the app. So the technology is running faster. And what we learned about that is that we have to create lean laws and norms. We don't need to put much information on the norm because this may be a blocker in the future to innovation.
It's better to do like principle based and let us figure out. That's very, very nice classic tale. Thank you. Guys, we have one more minute. I apologize, Carol, for having to cut short today. I will just wrap up with your key recommendations for policymakers and innovators in the room for them to build safely in this new environment. Starting Fabio.
Well, I think that I'm just going to repeat Carol. Cooperation is fundamental. We wouldn't be able to progress in the pace that we are doing without the market and without exchanging ideas with other central banks and with the market.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say that policymakers need to experiment. It's not about paper, it's about creating code and create new models. So we have to be together, but we have to be together building and not only making paperwork.
It's helpful. Yeah.
In one word, adding to Fabio and Vanessa, think about interoperability always. This is this century, like no interoperability, silos can leave a lot of people behind. To put everybody on the bus, make a multi-stakeholder regulation that is a natural SWOT analysis, a gap analysis, principles, test, and good luck for us.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah. No, and I've been hearing more and more the concept of legal interoperability, not only tech but like harmonization. That's very important. And initiative like that, I think it helps a lot. So thank you again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.